All right, guys. So good evening. Happy Wednesday, October 20th. First off, I'm excited because this is another week. We're back on Zoom again, and we have another amazing leader that we're able to bring you guys to hear her story and get some different tips from, as well as just hear, what she has to feed into you guys, because every week is someone that has something different. And I feel like we need that, just a variety from everyone, because you're going to relate to someone. It's just who, based off of who you feel closest to. And I love the fact that one of the leaders, I believe it was Rachel Williams, said, you got to find your best friend with this business. And it's not someone that's going to be your actual best friend, like you're supposed to be in their inbox, but
Mhm.
somebody that you feel is your virtual best friend. Like, you follow them because you learn from them and you're inspired by them, but they don't know you're the best friend. So
Yeah.
hopefully you guys get something from tonight's Zoom, because I know you're going to. And I want her to be able to tell her story and things like that, because I want to hear it too. So, Rusty, I'm gonna let you take it over, and then I'm gonna add on to it, because the stuff she's talking about, I need a little. I'm gonna dig in on it. So you can take it over.
Yeah, well, thank you for getting on the Zoom with us
Anytime.
tonight. I appreciate all you're doing and the other groups that you and I are involved in, and that you've had a large input on a lot of things that's happening, and a lot of people, you've got their attention through your leadership. It's not what you say, it's to your actions that's got
Mhm.
everybody excited. We very much appreciate. She and I are actually from the same state. I just live one state over from her now. We was actually, for where she lives now, my home place is about 40 miles where I was born, on a farm. And so I can't wait to get back up. Maybe she and I can go out for dinner, you and your husband, your family, and
Yes.
my daughters, and when we come to ride our horses and that type of thing. But I appreciate the energy you bring to it. I appreciate the critical thinking you're putting into everything, and the
Mhm.
way you're executing. And see, for somebody to be your best friend, you have to actually, they have to have integrity, even though you might not know them, but you have to trust that they're going to show up in action every single day. And that's what Tierra does. And I'm just so blessed to be in a couple other things she and I do on the side, and other groups that we have going on that come from the company. Say, come on, tell us your story and
Okay.
your passion, just like you told the other night. And in this group of ladies here, this is your next. Everybody here is your next big leaders. They've been with
Gotcha.
us a very long time. They're very loyal and they're hungry. So pour into them just like you would if it was. We're all family anyway. It's like a family. We're the cousins at the family reunion. So let
Yeah.
them have it.
Okay, I'm not gonna hold anything back. And you guys can ask any questions that you have, no filter. So I started this business almost 6 years ago, 5.5 years ago. And at the time, I was working full time as a social worker. I had gone to school, I had my bachelor's, master's. I felt that I had done everything right. And I had started looking for another source of income because honestly, I was not content with the pay I was receiving. Um, the salary level I was at, I was like, yeah, this is not going to cut it. I already had a fairy tale dream of what I wanted my life to look like. And I knew that it would benefit me to start off early, like having multiple streams of income. And so I looked and I couldn't find anything. And if you know anything about social work or the human service field, you know that one job within that field is stressful enough. And so I knew for sure whatever it was that I was going to do, I did not want to have to physically clock into multiple jobs. So I started, like, I would pray the prayer of Jabez every night. I didn't even know that was the prayer. I would just say those words because I knew it from a song. And so I would say it in my prayer every night, and I would scroll on Facebook, and I kept seeing this girl post about the business, and I kept seeing how excited she was. We went to college together, but I was a freshman, she was a sophomore, and she left that first year. So I didn't even know her like that. We had connected on social media, and I just kept following her journey. She was a mom of two. I had just had my daughter. My daughter had just turned one, and or was about to turn one, and I had just started my doctoral program. So anyone in their right mind would be like, oh no, I don't want to add anything else to my plate. Like I have enough going on. But something told me if I was still saying that prayer while also getting a doctorate and stuff, that you don't have no business passing this opportunity up. And so I would scroll on Facebook after like saying that prayer. And I realized later that God was probably like, you idiot, like it's right in front of your face. Like if you don't reach out to this girl. And so I finally reached out to her and was like, what is this business? What are you doing? Mind you, I would be talking to like my friends. Well, I had one mom friend that I had, and we would talk like, have you found something yet? Have you found something else that you could do yet? Because we were both within the same field. And every time we both said no. This time I went to her and I was like, look, I see this girl posting some stuff on Facebook. Let's put her in a group on Facebook. Y'all didn't know what I was doing. I was like, let's put her in a group on Facebook and ask her about the business. So I actually got started shortly after that. I literally enrolled through Facebook, social security number and everything, Facebook Messenger. Yes. And so for anybody who is worried about like asking for someone's information to sign them up, stop being afraid of doing that. Okay, do not be afraid to ask for anybody's information, because I literally signed up to Facebook. And so after that day, I remember how afraid I was starting. I still remember the wall I was staring at. I equated to going to the hospital for the moms out there. You may have felt this too, Rusty. Going to the hospital and realizing that when you have your first child, you're going to be leaving with a whole human that's your responsibility. Y'all know that stress. That's how I felt the day that I signed up for this business. And so I just knew that I had to make this work. From the day I started, I was like, literally, I have nothing to lose. Yes, I spent $100, but at the end of the day, I got some wraps for it. And so I'm just gonna get started. I had not tried any of the products yet, but I knew what I wanted to try. I wanted the wraps. I wanted hair vitamins. I wanted the cleanse. I knew what I wanted to get my hands on. And a lot of people come in and they figure, I have to try something first. No, just know what you want. Okay. And so fast forward, first month in, I did my little party starting out. And what's funny, my sponsor told me, like, you need to do a party. And I was like, okay, I'll do it next month. And she was like, no, ma'am, like, you need to do it this month. And I was like, okay, like, I was just very coachable. And that's the key word. I was very coachable. And so I scheduled my party for the following week. Had it first month in, I went Ruby. I earned about $2,000 my first month. I decided to sign up my husband because I figured if I could make two incomes, why not? This was around, I would say April, May. Okay. June, let me back up. I was doing personal development. So I got on my first training. I immediately started doing personal development. I immediately started listening to videos. The first video I listened to was on YouTube, Jocelyn Yates, and I was washing dishes, okay? And I remember thinking, what the heck did I start? I was so scared, but nothing, it never crossed my mind that I wanted to stop, okay? Let me also say this. My sponsor told me to create a list of 100 names. Put in the chat and guess how many names I had on my list when I started. Y'all can put your guesses in the chat. I like interaction in the chat. Like, show me some love. Show me some love. Okay, so 25, 50, 150, 15. I had 22 names on my list. 22 out of 100. Some of them had question marks beside it. Some people's phone numbers I didn't have. Many of them were my parents' friends, so I didn't even know if they were going to support me. 22 people. And again, it never crossed my mind that, Tierra, you're not going to be successful at this, okay? Let me back up. So I had the party. At the party, one of my friends was there. She has a huge following, okay? And her mom used the Wow Wipes. I don't know if y'all remember the Wow Wipes, but we didn't know how to use them. It was our first time. She used too much of the product and it left white residue. And so she went to her YouTube channel, which she, again, has a huge following. And basically they were laughing and they were like, oh, I'm glad I didn't buy this and stuff like that. And what the enemy meant for bad, God turned around for my good. When I tell you, all of her following started to say, like, that's not how you treat your friend who's a business owner. Like, that's not how you support your friend. And so they all came flooding to my page and my YouTube channel to support me because of something that was said. So stop worrying about what's being said about you, because God has your best interest at heart. Okay. So fast forward, after my first conference, back up. I started doing personal development. I would listen to personal development on the way to work. I decided, like, I'm gonna stop listening to Steve Harvey and start listening to personal development. And then when I would be at work, I had my little cube. I would have my headphones in, listening to personal development. And I remember someone saying to write on a sticky note, if you want to leave your job, write on a sticky note the day that you want to leave. And I did that. No, I was a social worker. Nobody knew what that date was going to be, you know, like they probably thought it was an appointment or something. I put it on my little cubicle, and it was December 2016, I believe. I was gone from that job by July of 2016. I had switched jobs, but I had left that job by July of 2016. And people don't understand. Oh my goodness, people don't understand the value of sticking with this business, honey. Because if it had not been for this business, I would have still been at the same job. I wouldn't have even known that I could switch. I wouldn't have had the confidence to switch. I went for a job that I wasn't qualified for because of the confidence I gained in doing this. You know what I'm saying? And so I switched jobs. And I became a school social worker. Of course, I'm super excited because I'm like, oh, I get a little taste of freedom. I get summer breaks and spring breaks and Christmas breaks and stuff. Little taste of freedom. Let me tell you, my first month at that job, we didn't get paid. Basically, first 2 months. And again, this is a job that for the school system, you would think like, oh, they have their ducks in a row. I didn't get paid for the first 2 months of being in that job because they had new people in human services and they didn't know how to do the payroll correctly. So literally the directors were coming to us and asking, do you want us to front you money? I know we know you have families. And I'm like, something about this does not sit right with me, but I'm good. Like I have a side hustle, I'm good. And so I did not take any funds from them, but that situation literally at the beginning of the school year let me know, do not take your hands off this business, girl, because you do not know what's going to happen with these jobs. And so that was September, October. November, my husband lost his job. He works in IT. And as you know, if you know anything about IT, you know they work contracts and stuff like that. He lost the contract and lost that position right around the holidays. I am very much a crybaby. I have been my whole entire life. I'm better at it now, not as much of a crybaby. Again, because of this business. Thank you, it works. But basically, I would have lost my mind if my life would have shifted like that. But again, because of it works, I was like, we're good. Like, we're going to find the next thing. God said, move on. Again, all the confidence because of this business. So, of course, he got another job, a better job. And after that, like, season, it was conference. We went to conference together, broke as a joke, like, literally sharing rooms with our friends that were couples. Got there, the hotel overdrafted our card by mistake and everything. But I came there for something. I'm like, I don't care. Like, we're going to get it done. Like, we're going to learn something. I'm going to promote. And I left that conference with the desire to go diamond. And I made sure I was going to get it done. So once I left the conference, of course, everybody sat down with their charts. I was paid as an executive that January when we had conference. I was paid as an executive. And I had already gone Ruby. So, of course, I fell back down to executive by that conference. And then while there, my chart, I was charted for diamond. You know how it is. You get charted and then you realize like these people are not working, Tierra. You're going to have to take them off. And so that was the first time I heard that and it scared the crap out of me. I needed 9 boxes filled to be a diamond. This is based on the old charts, y'all. So don't like go and pull anything out and just don't. This is all old. And so I basically was like, oh my God, I need 9 people. I missed diamond in February. That was my goal because I told myself I can go diamond in February. No, I missed emerald. I told myself I would go emerald in February so I could go diamond by March and get the diamond bonus. I missed emerald by 600 BV in February. And I was so upset. I literally worked down to the wire. Okay. My baby, she was 1 year old. She grabbed my hand and y'all know 1-year-olds don't really know how to talk. And she just started saying something, blah, 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 blah. And she was praying for me. And literally peace came over my body. Like, it's okay. Like, this is part of the plan. The work that I put in at the end of that February, when I tell you the customers were flowing in at the beginning of March, I promoted to emerald by the middle of March. I went diamond by like the 25th of March, same month, promoted, and got my $10,000 bonus. Fast forward next month, I kind of, you promote and you decide to take like step back a little. Ooh, I finally got to diamond. You want to take a little break, take a little week off. Don't do that, okay? And so something told me to sit down and look at my volume. I looked at my volume. I was like 4,000 away from double diamond, and I just needed a few boxes filled in. And so something told me like, Tierra, you better get this done, because if you don't get it done, you will never be this close again. And so that's exactly what I did. I bust my tail and I got double diamond that month. My double diamond pay, I passed my full-time income and I started to save. I never really touched my income from It Works that much, because I didn't believe in that. I wanted to grow my savings. And so I just let it build up. By June, I had saved up my full year worth salary, like as a school social worker, into my savings account. And so I did decide to walk away from my job that June, where people were like signing contracts to come back. And the main reason why, because I swear, y'all, I didn't even think about leaving my job until like the week the contracts were due. Okay. But my job gave me a $200 raise for getting my second master's level degree on the way to my doctorate. And not for the month, not per month, y'all, for the year. But let me explain something, like, again, how it works helped me. Because if it had not been for me charting the way I did, if it had not been for those numbers that I was like running every single day, I probably would not have even noticed the difference. Of course, they didn't say like, girl, we're going to give you a $200 raise. No, they took some stuff away and added some stuff on. But again, because I knew numbers, because of my charts, I was like, so basically that's a $200 raise. No, ma'am. I still have that offer letter today. I should hang it up in my office as a reminder that I will never go back. And basically, that was over 4 years ago now. I've been doing this full time since leaving my job. We've been able to purchase our second home in a better school zone and location for our kids. We've been able to travel more. My second pregnancy was crazy with my son. And I just can't imagine what would have happened if I was still working, because my cervix was shortening the whole time. So imagine if I was actually working and moving around 24/7, I could have had him like way earlier. He may not have survived. So thankfully, this business allowed me to work from home while dealing with that stuff. We've paid off 2 of my 3 student loans. Oh God, I used to be one of the people that was sweeping on the rug, like they'll never get their money back from me. That was me. That was me. And because of this business and being around financially stable people and knowing that I could be debt free and knowing that I could save, I was like, why not be debt free? I have other goals for myself and my family, and I can't set up their future if I'm still worried about my history of student loan debt. And so I paid off 2 this summer, and I have 1 more to go, and I'll be completely debt free outside of my mortgage. We paid off both of our cars. I've met amazing people from this opportunity, like people that I never would have crossed paths with. I am not an extrovert. You may think like I am. No, no, I'm not. But I was a social worker, so I don't mind interacting with people. I'm a functioning introvert, I guess, and I do what I have to do. What else? So I went I stayed at Double Diamond for 2 years, learning leadership, losing some team members, gaining more, learning how to be full-time with this. And then I promoted to presidential a year later, and my team is fighting for ambassador. But right now we're just loving the 4-in-1 system. And we know that the residual will come from that. So that's my whole story.
Wow. Amazing. It's
Thank
the mindset, it was so strong, but you had things along the way that it inspired you, that you knew that God was actually working in your life.
Mhm.
And or even from your child praying over you. I've seen that happen before, even when my children were very small. Don't know what they're saying, but you can feel it.
Mhm.
And a lot of things, I'm going to be honest with the whole group here. Some things happen within the infrastructure of our business in the last 2 weeks. It ain't me. I know I've been here 20 years, but it ain't me. When you get ready, set up for the biggest run of your life, for the biggest blessing, everything is inspired and fueled by God Almighty. And see, what she's done is she had the faith, she stepped into it, and she never looked back. And I really appreciate what you said. If you're so worried about your history, you ain't gonna never have no future. And if you broke as a joke and you're tired of being broke as a joke, you must be the one to do something about it. And I want to ask a question. And whatever you're all currently doing, if you still have your job, I don't care what you're doing. In the next 5 to 10 years, do you have the ability to earn at least $1 million? In the next 5 to 10 years, 15 years, do you have the ability to earn a couple, $3 million? Well, here's how I can be very emphatic and very straight to the point. Because I know it can happen here. Do you know why? Because I'm not the only one that's done it. There's a whole bunch of people on my team done it. And you know what? The reason we never quit, we knew you guys were coming. I don't care if you're up line, cross line, down line, sideline, it doesn't matter. we create solvency in this opportunity. And the most perfect thing about her story is her story. Every one of you got one. So if you tell it with the same kind of conviction and passion, with the faith that you're exercising to go to the next level, you know what's going to happen? Your story will start to materialize. Things will fall into place for you. Like, wow, that is beyond me for this to happen. Because you know what? When you're building that faith muscle and you show up every day through the adversities, how do you self-develop? By conquering problems. You have to face the adversity, because in that adversity lies what? Lies the blessing that you've been praying for. God he's not the welfare system. He's not the lottery. When you ask for something, he gives it to you, but he's going to give it in a way that you learn and you grow up to the next level. You don't go up to the next level. You grow up to it. And something else she said, it really intrigued me. She got around successful people that wasn't broke. So the majority of us are, or some of us, are sitting back, and you're hanging around trying to drag a bunch of broke people along. They ain't gonna never get it, because they're hung in a generational curse. It's been plagued with their family, and they don't believe they have the ability to be the first to make the $1 million. They believe they the first can walk off the job. And I'll ask all you ladies something, then I'm gonna turn it back over to you, Tierra. How many of you know that you got a doctorate degree? And you walked away from your job for a little network marketing deal, huh? That's supposed to be the American dream. Get the degrees. But I can tell you, it's not a secret. Whatever they taught you in college the last 4 years, the next 4 years will be inundated. It won't be worth anything. So when you gain up the courage and the muster inside you, I'm going to go do this. I don't care what mama says. I don't care what Sally Joe says. I don't care what all the rest of my broke as a joke friends say. They're broke as a joke for a reason. And I'm not going to focus on my history. I'm going to be the one that goes and makes the history. I'm going to be the one that goes and makes the news. I'm going to stop watching the news. And right now is the most opportune time in the history of the world. Here's why. Yesterday, I got home. I paid $3 and a penny for gas. I drive big SUVs. Everything we have is Suburbans. Not one, but more than one. And so I pull out today to go out of town. I come back to town and gas is $3.39. It awarded 38 cents. Now you ain't gonna be able to afford to go anywhere. And what you was eating is going to be cut to nothing. And I can sit here on a Zoom and not have to go. No, my wife and my mother-in-law, they're the best cooks in the world. I have a whole big everything right here. I don't have to go no from where I'm sitting, and it's all served right up. I'm gonna take this technology I got and take it to the real next level. And I'm not gonna let them gouge me at the pumps, because I ain't going nowhere. Carissa, I was coming so you and I could go to New York, to go to Dallas to eat the best chicken wings in the world. I'm still gonna do it, but it's not right now. But I can tell you, start to dream a little bit. Make up your mind that you're worth it. Take the attitude of this young lady right here. And by the way, 2 babies, 2 small kids. Come on now. That in itself is, some people use as an excuse, but did you hear the tone and the octaves in her voice? That wasn't her excuse. That was her reason why she done it. Her reason why. So whatever you're using as an excuse not to get it done, stop it. You've wore it out. Broke as a joke don't play no more over here in this organization. So when you make up your mind, no longer will I use this as an excuse, because that's all it is. You got to believe that you're going to be the best CEO in the world. You're going to be the #1 CEO in your family. You're going to take it to the real next level. You have the 4-in-1. I don't have anything over the comp plan and the product line is the same for me as it is you and the rest of you. I get the 4-in-1. I do get to participate in bonuses now for customers and all. I've never done that. We've always been ahead of the bonuses. But bet everything you own, I'm going to capture and collect all that. I'm going to make him scared to death for the end of the year, all in bonuses. I'm going to get my fair share. And you know what? Just because I know I can do it. And so I don't care if you've been here 20 years or 20 minutes. In the next 48 months, It Works Global will create more millionaires than any other company in the world, because now we're not just the biggest, strongest in the world in the back end. We're now the strongest in the front end. You have absolutely no excuse not to go make this money. But when you tell your story and you do it with conviction and passion as she did, and you become a product of the product, you're a product of something now. You're a product of making it happen. You're a product of excuses. You're a product of whatever you want to be a product of. But when you become a real product and you start to see the value in yourself, and I'm going to take care of me, it's not too expensive to take care of me because I'm all I've got. And if I don't take care of me, my poor wife will have to do it again. And that's not going to happen in my world if I can possibly help it. Because preventative measures is the way to go. So I'm going to tell you this and turn it back over to her because I love to hear this kid speak. And that's no disrespect because I'm 60. You're still a kid. So don't wait till you get thirsty to go dig your well. I was born on this farm and we was always looking for new sources of water depending on where we planted our crops. And you started to dig, you had your reserves already backed up from a spring house to a well to the river to the creeks and to all the other stuff we had on our big farm up there. Don't wait till you get thirsty to go try to dig your well and you're all got all this anxiety. Start taking care of that business right now. And something else she said, and she saved her It Works check. She wanted to have it in her savings account. Spoken like a true multimillionaire. She's already practicing how to become a millionaire. Throw the plastic in the trash. Make up your mind, this is what I'm going to do. Cut your expenses back. Increase your productivity and watch when you do that and you take on that mindset around people that's got something. Because right now, whatever you got, if you're hanging around people that have less than you do, you ain't gonna never get no more than what you got. When you hang around a few octaves higher, you'll be surprised how you begin to change your thinking, your conversation, your actions, everything begins to change because you become the chameleon. You're going to adapt to the environment. Just what environment are you adapted to? So, Tierra, come on, knock this thing in the head. And I'm sure my partner, Carissa, is going to have some questions for you.
I have a few more follow-up things. So when I went double diamond, I realized, I think that was a point where I realized like my family and friends that I knew, that was it. Like I had nobody else that I actually knew that could support me. And so I literally started using the hashtag God's work, not mine. Like every time I posted something about the business, I was like hashtag God, because I already knew if I sign somebody up, it's just because I'm working, but it's actually his work, not my own. And so I wanted to share that. When I left my job, I was so scared, of course, because this is what we've been taught to do our lives. But my dad is an entrepreneur of now over 20 years. And I thought, as my father, that when I went to him, he would say, like, you done lost your mind, like you didn't got this job, you got your education. He said, if you ever have the opportunity to be your own boss, you go do it. And so that was all I needed to hear. I was like, okay, dad's on board, like go after it. I talked to a young lady on my team today and she's a nurse. And she was like, I just feel like I should go do travel nursing right now because the money's not coming in quick enough for me. And I said, let me ask you this. If in 6 months to a year, you're going to be back in the same situation again, wanting more time with your child or trying to find another job, because she's actually in school getting her nurse practitioner degree. So I think she's going to have to like do an internship or something like that later. And so I was like, if you're going to be in the same situation again, your best bet is to hit the ground running with this business, because either you're going to be looking at getting another job for your clinicals once you get to that point, or this business will have you at home. And it's not going to have you at home if your mind is in 5 different places. You're thinking about starting a podcast. You're thinking about going to do travel nursing. You're also thinking about, that's too much. That's too much. You have to be tunnel vision, focused on one thing. So I wanted to share that too for anybody who's saying it's not happening fast enough. If you're saying that it's not happening fast enough, it's probably that you are not making it happen fast enough.
That's exactly what it is. You got time to scroll and watch TV all day long and, tiptoe through the daisies and play with the window dust. You need to be in action, making it happen. You say you want to be a millionaire. You say you want to do whatever. Just honor your word. Quit lying to yourself. The biggest liar in the world is a person that consistently lies to themselves, and damn good and well you ain't gonna do it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna do this, and you ain't gonna do it. You're just gonna be lazy daisy, and you're gonna still be what you call it, broke as a joke. That's good. I love it. Carissa, I know you got a multitude of questions for this young lady, this superstar we got here with us tonight. So I'm gonna turn it over to you, my sister.
Okay. I didn't realize I did it when I was laughing. So let's go into this Instagram side of things.
Okay.
Yeah, I was laughing at the dust on the window too.
I was too.
It just came out and I was like, oh, I ain't muted no more. So let's go to this Instagram side of things, and then I can just dig deeper into whatever you give from that as far as tips for Instagram. There are a lot of people that work Facebook only, yes, but a lot of you guys need to expand yourself. You know, you expanded with no problem to TikTok to learn that because you want to scroll up and down and see all the stuff and get stuck in that world. You can do the same thing with Instagram. So give us some tips for that you have, and then I can dig deeper and ask about it.
Okay, so Instagram has always been my jam since I guess before I started. I did not post often before I started, so I literally turned a new leaf in starting this. I was told to post 3 times a day when I started. And when I tell you my posts were horrible, nobody has time to go back and look at it, but it's still there because I never went back and deleted it. It was a hot mess because I did not know what to post 3 times a day. Okay. But now, fast forward to 2021, we now have reels and stories and posts on your page and IGTV. You can use all of it. So I post on my profile page at least like 3 to 4 times per week. I've increased my reels, so I try to do like 3 to 5 reels per week, and I am in my stories every single day. I'm in my stories. I'm sharing my life. I'm talking about like making the coffee and stuff like that. I show my daughter walking down the stairs every single morning. Today she did not do it because she didn't feel like it. She had a little attitude this morning, but she didn't do it this morning. And she got to school and was like, okay, mommy, let me just wish everybody a good day. And so I was like, go ahead. And she did that in the car. But she's a part of my brand, and she swears she's my business partner. And she is. That's my baby. She knows how to do charts and everything, y'all. So I incorporate like my family, my dog, everything. I think a lot of times we overthink it and we feel that we have to be perfect. Yes, I work out on like Instagram and stuff like that. I didn't always do that because I'm not a personal trainer, so I don't even know if I'm doing the exercises right. Okay, but at this point, I'm showing it. And I had a girl I had an opportunity call with the lady yesterday, and she was like, what actually caught my attention was you working out in your garage. I met this girl on Facebook. I don't even talk to people on Facebook, okay, about the business opportunity. So I'm like, I never knew that somebody would notice that and we would end up on a call talking about the business opportunity. So you really never know what's going to grab their attention. But basically, with your stories, you want it to be like keeping up with the Kardashians. Like you're the Kardashians, okay? You want them to keep up with your life. What are you doing today? What are you eating? You have to show more than just the products. You have to talk about more than just the business. And when I say just the business, a lot of times people will post things like, I have 5 spots on my team. I need 5 business partners. Girl, what is your business? Like, talk to me. Like, what are you doing? Are you on Zoom? What do y'all do on Zoom? Who do you work with? Share it all. Share someone else's story. Anytime you get an aha moment. I had a conversation with some other team members today about using the word try. I said, go Google why you shouldn't use the word try. And I said, tell me what you find. She sent it back to me. I said, it looks like you have your caption for tomorrow. Like, y'all, just incorporate what you're learning from your business into your social media. People are going to gravitate to that. They're going to be able to learn with you. Be a positive force on social media. I don't share other content. If I do, I'm going to screenshot it and share it as myself. And I may even credit the person, but I'm not going to share it. Stop sharing other people's content. What else? You can't post quotes all day. That's another thing. It's okay to throw a quote in there every now and then, but that cannot be your main content because you are the face of your business. They have to know you for you. And there have been times where I have gained weight in this business, especially during the pandemic, and I didn't like taking pictures and I didn't like how I look. If you don't like how you look, fix it. Use your products, talk about it, and fix it. If you mess up, do it again. I messed up, y'all. I gotta start over. I got on the scale and I'm right back where I started. I got to start over. Who else needs to start over with me this week? Okay, like make your life real. Another thing that I noticed and I always talk to my team about is you're posting your kids and stuff like that and your husband. And girl, I don't even know their names. I don't even know your kids' names. And it's like people cannot relate to you unless they know, like everyone that follows me knows that my daughter's name is Taylor and my son's name is Camden and my husband's name is CJ and my dog's name is Crew. Everyone knows that. And so are you showing things and making them a part of your family on social media? Or are you still very guarded? So those are like my main tips that just come to my mind to say.
Well, what's your tip about getting unguarded? For those people feel like they don't want to unguard themselves.
So when I started, I was a foster care social worker. Okay. I worked with teenagers that could have possibly found me, and I did not want that. So when I started, I made sure that my name was not searchable on Instagram. And instead of having my name up there, I had my initials TT, like nobody's gonna find TT. There's a billion of those. And then my @ name is not my actual name. If you are guarded, it's for a reason. And I bet you have somebody that you're following or that you have following you that you're afraid to show this side of yourself. Because everybody has it in them. You got to let that person go because they holding you back and they're not even paying your bills, girl. Okay? You have got to let that person go. We get so hung up in watching other people's lives. You got to put them on mute. Some people you're going to have to unfollow. And I had to realize that in my business too. Of course, starting out, you're going to follow the leaders and stuff like that to see like how to post and what to say. Follow them. But at some point in your business, for me, it was double diamond. I realized like, girl, you got to let go of these people. Be yourself. Like you can't even you go to them before you decide what you want to post for this morning. You're going to watch what they've already posted. Am I on somebody's pew? Okay. You're watching them before you even decide what you want to share for yourself. You have got to get to a point where it's like, no, I'm getting too pulled in. That means their marketing is perfect. Now you got to make yours perfect. They have reeled you in. Okay. Now you got to go and do that for your following. So take what you learned because you were there to learn something. Take what you learned and start implementing it. I do not like going live. I don't. I actually prefer Instagram live over any other platform between TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. But even on Instagram, I don't go live. I don't like it. But what I started to do was go live with my daughter when I'm braiding her hair. Why? Because I don't have to watch. I'm I don't have to sit there and talk. So she's there and I'm interacting with her, which is natural for me. And I'm just doing my baby's hair and people are interacting and stuff like that. I did her hair this week and I didn't go live because I had so many calls on Sunday and people were DMing me like, you ain't go live this time. So I was like, okay, y'all, I'm gonna go live tomorrow. So now they want me to go live. It ain't what I want. They want me to go live. So I'm like, okay, so people want me to go live tomorrow. I'm gonna go live while I'm in the parent pickup line. Even there, I don't like going live. I'm literally sitting there like I just press the button and make myself go live. I'm eating lunch while on the live to make myself feel comfortable. So a lot of times you'll look at other leaders and stuff like that doing stuff and you'll automatically assume that's just them. No, it's not. We're out of our comfort zone too. But we realize it's what we have to do. So do what you have to do. If you gotta eat some chips while you on a Zoom, Ashley Mayfield has to put on her chapstick while she's on a Zoom. If you have to have your bottle of water right there the whole time, just playing with the top, do what you have to do to get it done. So those would be my biggest tips.
I love that. Now you're somebody that do host posts through Instagram, I'm assuming then, right?
I just started this week, but it's booming.
Well, yeah, it just started, so I won't dive deep in that. But yeah, host posts on Instagram is my thing also. That's something I've done for a month. So it's that's a whole nother field in the world that's definitely untapped. Because I every time I get at least 50, 60, 70 hosts posts up a week. So that's definitely something to tap into. Either you put it in your stories or you put it on your page. And I can also relate to posting just the post. Like I can probably scroll back my old stuff and find what I was posting. But I mean, I could be embarrassed by it, but at the same time, it worked back then. Because I definitely found a lot of people, even though I was in oh my gosh, the back in the day pictures of before and afters that we used to show was so nasty. Our sweat bellies was nasty.
And
But
the pictures, photos, yes.
they were like, these were nasty bellies, but they got us so many customers. And
Yeah.
oh, I still probably have one of them. It was my profile picture for a long time.
Oh.
So it
Not
worked.
profile picture.
It was my profile on Facebook for a long time. So all right, let's go to another way on what would your tips be on reels? Are your reels a whole minute, or are they just like quick to the point? Is there like a thing that helps you tap into it?
So I actually prefer TikTok, and honestly, that's how I'm getting my host to post up too. They're coming from TikTok. So I'll go to my messages, and like right now I have 26, and this is the lowest it's been all week, but 26 message requests. These are all people who are going to put up host to post for me. So these are all people from TikTok, but I always post on TikTok first and then just share it as a reel. So honestly, I don't even put too much attention or focus into what's going to take off and how long it is, because if I just literally take from TikTok and post it on Instagram. I've had 2 videos randomly go viral. They were both like videos that I thought were funny. I guess other people think that what I think is funny too. And I didn't put any hashtags on it at all on both of them. I went back and checked later because I didn't know it was going to go viral, but on both of them, they did not have any hashtags at all. One of them, I don't even think it had a caption. The other one had like a little laughing emoji. And those were both days where I was pressed for time and I'm like, let me get a TikTok up or a reel up. And those just happened to go viral.
And what inspires your somebody asked this question, what inspires your content on, and they did it private, they want to stay anonymous.
Okay.
What inspires your content on Facebook? No, on TikTok. Instagram and TikTok reels. Yeah, there you go.
TikTok. Okay. So every blue moon, I'll look at what other leaders are doing just to learn, because TikTok is new for me. But honestly, I go through the For You page, and I'm able to make connections really quick. So I figure out how I can make it work for myself. I send the videos to myself. So literally, if I was scrolling on the For You page right now, my goal is not to just have fun time watching TikTok. I'm looking for stuff that I can do. And so I send the videos to myself as a message. And in the message, I put what my idea is, like for the video. So I'll say like laughing at my mom doing this or something. And I'll send it directly to myself. And I'll sit down and do about 10 to 15 TikToks at a time. They are not all the same. Some of them are just like my personality, whereas others are like business related or like just me doing a dance. And I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll put some business stuff up there later. So yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's good. And now what would be your cutoff point? Because I know some people go in there and say, I'm on here for content, and they never get off. What's your, do you have a cutoff, like 10 minutes, that's it type of thing? Or you're actually disciplined enough to get off and not get drilled into staying on there?
I guess the biggest thing is when I start scrolling on TikTok. So if it's the middle of the day and I have I use an hourly calendar. So honestly, the beginning of my day is taking my daughter to school. I come home, I work out. After I work out, I got to eat, take a shower, time to go pick her up again. In the car is and if you look at my TikToks and reels, a lot of them have been in the car. I am doing my TikToks and reels in the car. And so, I am scrolling through during that time, and then that's it. That's like an hour while I'm waiting for them to let out. And if I'm not doing that, I will go live on Instagram. And then once I come home, my calls start. Like I get home at like 4:40, and then my calls literally start from like I have a planner. This is my day this evening. So I literally have calls back to back. So I don't really my goal is not to spend a lot of time on TikTok. I might lay in the bed before I go to sleep and look at it, but I'm not going to be up at 2:00. And sometimes I have done that. So no judgment to those that do. But the next morning I'm looking silly because I get up and do a power hour in the morning. So I me having a clear-cut schedule for myself kind of allows me to be more disciplined in what I'm spending my time on.
Love it. I don't think, okay. This person is asking something else. But first I want to show y'all. So back in 2012, this is what we used to do. This is not what we do now, but this is what we used to do. Okay. I'm gonna show y'all what these before and after pictures used to look like. And this got me so many comments, but it's the most disgusting picture in the world. Do anybody remember this picture?
I'm sure I do. Yeah, and it's so green. Yeah.
Listen, and it was my profile picture. That's how dedicated I was to this business back
Yeah.
in 2012. That belly sat up there on my profile, tagging everybody. I have mad tags on that photo.
Oh
So
my.
yeah, so we done some stuff back then. So Shar wanted to ask another question. She wants you to give us some 4-in-1 tips since she want to publicly say who she is. She just won't say it in the chat.
Okay, 4-in-1 tips. So my tip would be to focus on what you feel is hardest first, always. And that's what I do at the beginning of every month. Honestly, I don't think it's hard to get a distributor, but I always focus on getting my distributors first. And then I also focus on customers. I feel like the customers are gonna come. Like they're just gonna come. And honestly, I feel the same for the distributors. Distributors are gonna come too. Whatever you say in your head though is what's gonna happen. Okay. So at the start of this week, I had my girls write out in our chat, how much do you need to complete your 4-in-1 for this week? Okay, let's make it a week goal. Why are we waiting till the end of the month? Let's make it the goal for this week. I had a girl that said, I have not received a customer yet. And I said, receive? Girl, who receiving?
Right?
We not passing balls over here. Like we don't receive anything. We go get it. Okay. So go get it. And so she literally just got 2 customers within like 2 days from her just switching up her mindset. And so I would say the mindset piece is huge. Work on what is hardest first. If you need distributors, why are you posting so much about customers and products and products? Talk about the business. Post about the business. Go do a reel on TikTok. Do all the things until you get your one. And I promise you, there is no way on God's green earth that you could be doing all the things and not getting an enrollment. There's no way that you're doing host to post. That you could be doing host to post and reels and TikToks and posting and stories and not get anybody interested. It's just not going to happen because the Bible says God will bless the work of your hands. So if you're working, he's going to bless it.
Exactly. I love that. Yeah, eat that frog is definitely something key. That helped me with my procrastination by doing the hardest thing first. So that's something I read years ago. So yeah, that's a good one. If you guys have not read eat that frog. Yeah, eat that frog. That's definitely helpful for you guys for that. All right, any last question, anybody, before we finish here with Tierra's turn? I swear I thought your name was so much.
Oh, sorry, my mom's calling me. You said you thought my name was what?
Harder than that. I didn't know it was just Tierra. I've jacked it up for years. So okay, so back on leading from the front then. What tip would you have on that?
So I will never in life let anybody on my team outwork me. I love them. I want them to. Like that's like the goal for them, but I'm not gonna let it happen. Like I'm going to fight tooth and nail. And so my goal is to show my team because I feel that I cannot ask of them if I'm not doing myself. I can't. And literally every conversation that I go into with the potential, I'm telling them, I am teaching you based off of what I did this month. I'm not teaching you based off of what I did 3 months ago or years ago. So you know for sure when you start, you're in good hands with me because I've already done it. And so that gives me the confidence to train my team. That gives them the confidence to come in and join the business with me. So leading from the front is so huge. If I'm telling them to show up on Power Hour, I make sure I'm there. I'm like telling my husband, like, I cannot oversleep. You better wake me up. Like, no. If I'm telling them to turn your cameras on for a Zoom, then mine is on. If I'm telling them that you need to post, I realized when I was new in the business that the people are literally watching your post first. And if you're posting about the business, then common sense will be for them to post about the business. And they can just simply look at you and see what you did for the day and know what to do. That's how I learned. And so always lead from the front so you can just go tell them to go do what I did. This is what I just did. I just got an enrollment. I just followed up with this girl and she gave me her phone number. And so that's what leading from the front is for me.
I love that. That all that was exactly something I feel like is important. We preach about turning your cameras on here all the time, but we'll wait till everybody gets to that double, triple, and stuff when they got to start talking to themselves because the camera's off. No worries, I'm gonna be the first one to hit the button. I'm gonna be the first. I'm gonna be the first one to hit the button. Like this is what it look like when you talk to yourself. So, Rusty, you have anything you want to add to close us out, and or anything else you need from Tierra?
No, I just appreciate all the content you gave us, the real, the raw, the integrity you have. I think it was probably one of the better Zooms we've had in months. For people to learn something from your perspective, from your age, from your doctorate degree, all the things you've accomplished in your young life, and you walked away from that to do exactly what I'm seeing now and be that mommy. That's why I left the bank 20 years ago. I had my 2 little girls about that age because they were worth it. And the one thing I've heard that you haven't done tonight that I appreciate, you haven't made any excuses to why you didn't do it. You just went and done it. You so to speak, you womaned up on it and you took responsibility. Now you're becoming a great leader, being recognized by a lot of people. And I just appreciate it. From the bottom of our heart, anything that Carissa or this team can do for you and your team, you have my private number. You're just a text away, and we're right on it. Other than that, Carissa, I don't have anything else. She has just got my mind. My head is swelling up. She put so much stuff in it, and stuff I'll be using tomorrow.
I see Shar's question.
Yeah, I was going to ask that.
Um,
Question though. I have a Zoom that you posted and shared a while ago. Oh God, it was 8 months. Never mind. Go ahead. Yeah, that was 8 months ago though. It was a launch process R2W, but that was 8 months old now.
Okay. It's probably still the launch process for my team though, because we've been doing the same thing because that works. It literally works. And so I don't focus on Instagram or Facebook. My suggestion, like when they're putting up their starter posts, is honestly most of my distributors come from Instagram. And I prefer that because I can see their life. Facebook, I feel like, yes, I have gotten great distributors from Facebook, but Facebook is a lot of shared content. And so some people don't know how to post coming directly from Facebook. So I keep that in mind. And most of them that do start with me, they already have an Instagram. So when they post, I'm like, did you post on Facebook too? Did you post on Instagram too? And so they're like, yes. And then from there, we're creating a list. I don't do 100, I do 30. And I have them message their list.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's pretty much my launch process from there.
You good, Shar? You want to unmute and say something else? You good?
I'm golden. Thank you so much, Tierra, for these tips.
You're welcome, hon.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. This was a ton to take in. So I know I'm gonna have to rewatch it back and listen again, but I'm a big Instagrammer too. So I definitely love those tips. All right. I guess that's all I got. So thank you guys for getting on. Thank you for your time. I see the kids still up already. Oh, mine's done fell asleep over here next to me. So all right, guys, enjoy your night. Thank you so much again, Tierra.
Okay, y'all have a good night.